Peace, blessings. This is Black Light, Cyberspace Ministry, the Aboriginal Universal Supreme Conscious Council of the Elders. We are on a mission on a special mission from the Most High, and that's to unite the entire melanated community from the carbon melanated community to the carbon melanated community. We're on a mission from the Most High. And if you are the few that tuned in to this frequency, Cyberspace Ministry with Brother Black Light, then consider yourself fortunate because we're on a higher vibration than most, because we're not of the realm where we bow down to anything materialistic. We made material. Material didn't make us. Although we have all in us, we are the ones that brought all out of us. We're on another vibration, a higher vibration than most. So we're talking about the rebuilding of the black family. You heard those that said that when you see the images of the child, the mother, and the father, that is the Most High. And those images that you saw that coming from Egypt or ancient Kemet, you'll see that in another symbolic form in the Nation of Islam with the star, the moon, and the sun, or the star, the crescent, and the sun. And that represents, the star represents the child, the star child. The moon represents the female. The sun represents the male. This is family. Also, we wear the star and the crescent right there on top, like a crown, also like the all-seeing eye. Now, if you tuned in on this frequency, pay close attention to what I'm about to say. We've been talking about the rebuilding of the black family. We're talking about all the melanated ones, the brown, the so-called red, and the so-called yellow. We're excluding the white or the Caucasian pale man out of this. Even though he's being manipulated by the higher families of Shaitan, you can't come in this conversation. This conversation is really a prayer, and it's really not a conversation. It's really marching orders from the Most High, the universal mind. Of the Supreme Elder. Now, I was watching a movie called Abar, the first black superhero. And this was made in the 70s, the early 70s. Never seen it, never recognized none of the actors. And the moral of the story was these brothers, Abar and his crew, were, and by the way, it came on Bounce TV. And Abar and his crew were in the ghetto, and this brother Abar's influence was Martin Luther King, nonviolence, and this scientific doctor, black doctor, moved into a affluent all-white community, and they didn't want him there. And to make a long story short, they killed his son. And so by Abar being freedom fighters, he employed Abar to protect him and his family. But his wife, behind the death of the son, she didn't want to live in that neighborhood. And so she left him. But he had to stay because he had got a grant from the government for this experiment. And what he was wanting to do was to create a superhuman, indestructible superhuman. And he wanted Abar to be his subject. And at the end of all this, Abar ended up using mental telepathy. And he made those corrupt police officers turn on themselves. It's a nice movie. It needs to be remade. It needs to be remade. The actors was good. The acting was good. But you could tell it was made on a shoestring budget. And this is the kind of movies that we need. But, you know I beamed in on it. I could have missed it, but I beamed in on it. They also had been showing Roots on the Bounce TV. Bounce TV, I don't know if it's nationwide, but we get it here. in the 313. So while I was looking at this movie, and I was looking at the doctor's family, and I said to myself, his wife left him because she wanted to move out their neighborhood, and that put me in the mind of polite. That's another frequency. It's not deep as this frequency that you're on now watching me, even though there are those that tuned in, might be tuning in. So we're going to do an experiment of our own on the next video coming up after this one. But first, let me brief you on what we've been talking about, put you up to speed on. We're talking about the rebuilding of the black family because we have been separated. And I've been going back, illustrating first with Osiris, and then with Jesus, the resurrection of Jesus, the resurrection of Osiris. All of us, you know, talking about the same thing. And the black man is going to be the one that heals the planet. Now, this is what I wanted to say. The black man and the black woman are one. We're not going to get in the debate which one came first, because one is in one. You know, we all in one. And the female is in the male and the male is in the female. And this is demonstrated by hermaphrodites. You know, this is a sign. Hermaphrodites are signs. Now, we once could have been, the whole planet could have been in that form, hermaphrodites. And then we decided to break off into two and still be one. Because we are great alchemists, we are great scientists. But we also have this knowledge, but it's buried deep within us. So we're going to come back with an experiment. Stay tuned for the rebuilding of the black family. Black light out.